What if I told you that the biggest life hack that all of us can partake in is completely free? Something that you can get started with before the end of this video or during it will likely give you some of the best ideas that you ever have. Will reduce your stress levels, trim up your waistline, and will significantly reduce your dying from pretty much every terrible disease that you can possibly imagine. Is this some sort of special device that only some of us have access to? Is it a way to summon the spirit of our modern day cyborg, Brian Johnson? No, my friends, let me introduce you to, drumroll please, walking. Yes, I'm referring to the thing that you do with your 2 feet that was previously reserved for those nosy middle-aged women in your neighborhood growing up, or that thing that you did in college to get from one class to the other. Now, before I lose you here with something so incredibly basic, walking is something the most influential and successful people in the world and in history swear by. Steve Jobs, massive walker. Mark Zuckerberg, love him or hate him, takes some of his most important meetings on a walk. Aristotle, famous philosopher, taught while walking. He even had a name for the people that learned from him during those walks, called the Peripatetics. May have butchered that pronunciation. Charles Dickens walked for miles every single day, giving walking credit for some of his biggest creative inspirations. Freud, Nikola Tesla, Oprah, Winston Churchill, Thoreau, people that did a thing or two with their lives, all walkers. Now, these are some of the most successful, influential, and busy people known to humanity. I think that we can all agree that if this is something that they're making time for in their busy schedules every single day, in many cases weaving it into major, important parts of their day, then it might be something that has immense value for the rest of us as well. I personally discovered that walking was something that was giving me a ton of value about 10 years ago when I was first launching my social media marketing agency. I take my dog Atlas for a walk down by the river in Minneapolis where I was living at the time every single day. At first I kind of viewed this as something that I had to do. However, that very quickly began to change. I started using that walk every morning as a way to think and prepare for my day and get mentally in the zone to get done what I needed to get done. I started listening to podcasts during my walk. At the time, Gary Vee was blowing up and it was really just the type of content that I needed to get the business launched and just continue working hard on it. I noticed immediately that I started carrying that energy into my day, and I felt better not just physically, but mentally as well. My walks got longer and longer, and the longer I walked, the better I felt. Pretty soon I went from walking a few blocks to a few miles every day. It became a sacred hour of my day, every day, without fail. Over the last couple of years, I've gotten busier and busier, but even with all of that, without fail, walking is still a massive part of my day. Let's talk about why. Before we jump into things here though, why not take a second to subscribe to the channel? It really helps me out a lot. As you can see, I'm just getting started here on YouTube with this channel, and I've got some amazing videos coming your way in the future that I think are going to provide a ton of value into your life. So let's go ahead and jump into it. There are immense health benefits of walking. As humans, I'm going to be completely straight with you. It's unlikely that you're going to just go and start walking 10,000 steps a day just for the health benefits. Most of the benefits here you're not going to see until much later in life, and as humans, we just aren't set up to focus on those type of long-term goals. That being said, walking every day has been linked to help you prevent pretty much every terrible disease that plagues us and are the biggest killers of human beings. It can help you avoid heart disease, liver issues, kidney issues, diabetes, cancers, and pretty much every other major ailment that are the leading causes of diseases and deaths globally. It lowers your blood pressure, increases your metabolism, reduces stress, which can also contribute to these long-term illnesses that I'm talking about here as well. It boosts endorphins, improves sleep quality, and that's really just the beginning. We live in a society where it's now considered cool to actually give a damn about these things. No matter how old you are, the best time to start taking preventative measure against these things that might come up later in life is now. On top of that, it's pretty much the best way to get some basic exercise for pretty much everybody. It's low impact, something that anybody can do regardless of fitness level, and step for step, mile for mile, it's just as effective in terms of calorie burn as running. Growing up, I used to think that in order to lose weight, you needed to sweat. I thought you needed to train psychotically hard to burn those calories off. Now, don't get me wrong, I love running. I ran an ultra marathon a couple years ago, and I still to this day love going for a couple runs every single week. I love riding my bike as far and as long as I possibly can, and I work out like a bodybuilder every single morning without fail. Walking is still my favorite form of exercise. In just 15 minutes of walking, you can burn roughly 150 calories, depending on your body's composition, which in terms of distance traveled is basically the same as running. So if you're somebody that hates running, you can enjoy a lot of the same benefits just by walking. And it can also help prevent some of those joint issues that tend to plague long distance runners. If I notice that I'm starting to get a little bit of a gut, this almost always happens after I've been traveling quite a bit and I'm off my walking routine. The other nice thing about walking as well is it really doesn't make you ravenous in the same way that running does. I'm definitely not a scientist or anything like that, but walking doesn't trigger the same hormonal response that running does that tends to make a lot of people hungry. I've definitely noticed this, and I think that walking almost actually helps me suppress my appetite a bit. I like to try and keep a lean body composition year round, and walking is kind of my secret weapon to being able to achieve that. Walking has also dramatically improved my business as well. When you're working in your business all day, it's super easy to get tunnel vision. It's super easy to have a question or a problem come your way, and when you think about it in that moment, you typically only think about it in one single way. This means that you're usually stuck with a single solution, and that solution is rarely the best one. Something that I've noticed for me is that usually going for a walk, if something's stressful or I can't figure something out, is actually the best first solution. I think about all those questions or challenges or problems while I'm on a walk, and the solution tends to just come to me. How many of you have ever heard the saying, I do my best thinking in the shower, or something like that? That's because taking a shower is meditative, and the nature of the environment is relaxing, and it frees you from your day-to-day. It helps give you peace and perspective for that brief moment in time, and walking for me does the exact same thing. I almost always have my best ideas, best solutions, best thoughts on how to improve myself or my business or relationships while I'm on a walk. This harkens back to the leaders that I spoke about earlier in the video. Clearly, today's business leaders see the benefits of taking business meetings while on a walk. If the most prominent business leaders of today, philosophers of the past, and some of the most influential people of all time take time out of their busy day to go for a walk, I think that us common folk can see the benefit as well. Walking also brings with it immense mental benefits. I personally see endless mental benefits from going for a walk when it comes to my mental health as well. My hour-long walk is a sacred time, and it's really the only time during the day that's just specifically reserved just for me and, well, my dog. It's my opportunity to push pause on the pressing issues and matters that come up during the day and zoom out for a second while I just take some time to myself. I love listening to podcasts, audiobooks, or sometimes just chill Drake or EDM playlists to just set the vibe and enjoy myself depending on my intention for the walk. Since I started doing this, my mind just gets flooded with positivity, ideas, and learning. When I go for walks on a treadmill, I like to call it Treadmill University because that whole time I'm just learning things while I'm walking on the treadmill. This also helps with my mindset as well because I'm really able to tap into the motivations and energy of somebody else, which helps me grow as a person. Even if I'm feeling super discouraged or unmotivated, it can help me get in that right mindset and that mind space. I've never felt worse after a walk. I always feel better, no matter what. There's just so much immense value in this. So many people, including myself, struggle to make time for themselves. We just get so caught up in our day-to-day that we just forget to make time for it. Walking really solves that problem for me, which is very different, in my opinion, than running. I know that there are some people that can listen to audiobooks and podcasts while they're going for a super long run, but that's just not me. Walking at a steady pace on a treadmill or outside with my dog is an area where I can just really focus on what I'm listening to and what I'm hearing versus having to listen to pump up music to kind of keep me going and survive the run. Clearly, you can tell that walking is just a big part of my day. Let me know if you're thinking about taking up walking and increasing the amount of walking that you do in the comments down below. Make sure to also check out the links in the description as well. I teach a couple of different courses on how to replicate results like I've been able to achieve in my life. A big part of that is my social media marketing agency, and I teach a course on how to start, grow, and scale your own social media marketing agency called the SMMA Blueprint. I'll link to that in the description down below. I'll also have a link to my newsletter as well, where I share ideas and different things that I'm digging on the day-to-day. I have another course that I'm going to be releasing soon on mindset, and everybody that's on that mailing list is going to receive an exclusive discount, so make sure you sign up. If you're looking for a video to watch after this one, make sure to check out this video right here on 5 books that completely changed my life. I'm confident that they will do the exact same for you, and that would be a great video to watch after this one. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next video.